Welcome to the B-Sides and Beers podcast.
Welcome to B-Sides and Beers, episode 41, and welcome to our second Halloween Spook-Tacular. How the hell are we doing tonight, boys?
Good,
Fabulous.
Good. And I just want to tell everybody, before we even get into this, that if you dig this show, you need to share it, and you need to tell some friends, and you need to leave us a rating, and you need to do that all over the place. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere it is, anywhere you're listening. We just needed to get out there, so thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Testify.
Please.
Testify.
Please. Whoa. What are we drinking tonight on Spook-Tacular Saturday?
Oh boy, who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
I've been really excited about this one actually because today is actually called World Food Day. World
Food Day.
Yeah, right? Like there's a day for everything.
Totally. I can't wait till World Donut Day and
well, because I'm about to talk about nice organic food and no, actually I've been drinking this Pilsner from Knight's Hand. They're out of Vancouver and it's a organic beer. It's like the biggest thing you see on the can. It just says organic on it. And I've been kind of into that, like, I don't know if it's like whatever greenwashing but I feel like I feel better the next day when I drink organic. So anyway, they had a nice post up on their Instagram. It's just called Knight's Hand Brewery, and it's all about World Food Day. So yeah, you should check them out. Cool. So the theme for World Food Day is our actions are our future. Better production, better nutrition, a better environment, a better life.
Absolutely.
A better drug.
Yeah.
Less hangover.
Less hangover.
Oh, it's organic. I can drink 4 more. I'll get less hangover.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's good. It's organic. And so this is the Fair Maiden Lager. And I'm digging it. I'm digging Knight's Hand.
Nice.
Excellent.
Oh.
Michael, what do you have?
Well, I've got 3 right now. I was going to say 4, but I finished them off the other day. So I'm not going to talk about that one because I got rid of it. So the first one being a Halloween October deal.
Nice.
Once again, I have pumpkin ales just because this is the only time I can get them. So I stock up and yeah. So going back to what I had the last podcast episode, because I have a few left over, is the Parallel 49 Pumpkin Oktoberfest with some more amazing art from Mr. Steve Kitchen from Combination 13.
Yeah, it's a dope can, man. It looks awesome.
It's so good, man. It's this really cool scarecrow with a wicked pumpkin head and a graveyard behind him and bats and owls, and yeah, it looks spooky as it should. So,
Awesome.
So I got that for my first pumpkin. My second is actually probably the best pumpkin ale I have been able to find out of any offering so far.
Wow.
It is from it's out of Quebec, so it's Brasserie Macaslan Brewing,
cool.
St. Ambrose. It is their Great Pumpkin Ale.
That is the good stuff, man.
I've seen that label.
It's so good, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a delicious. I've had that one too.
Yeah. So that's been my fave so far. So, and then the third is going to some more of the Parallel 49, just because it's kind of my go-to. And once again, more artwork from Mr. Steve Kitchen of Combination 13. It is the Trash Panda Hazy IPA.
Right on.
always great. So that's what I got.
Fantastic. Nice. I am repping
so.
the Back to the House Sound Brewing Company. And this evening...
How?
Oh, we were just talking about Blues Brothers the other day, actually. Because the girls found I had these little like Blues Brothers figures that somebody got me. They're like, who are these guys? Like, who are these guys? Anyways,
Let me show you.
yeah, I showed them the scene from the church and James Brown.
Yes.
Do you see the light?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. House Sound, King Heffy, Imperial Hefeweizen.
Oh boy,
Nice.
That's great.
And this is a pretty heavy duty offering at a 7.7%, and is a cult summer favorite, which they brought it back in 2019. And it is a Hefeweizen brew with half barley and half wheat, fermented with the traditional Wei Han Steven yeast. I don't know if I said that right.
Oh shit, man, that's some good stuff.
Is it? Okay, to produce strong banana and clove aromas with a smooth body feel. And on the can, it says displaying the classic notes of banana, clove, bubblegum, and vanilla. Our Imperial Hefeweizen is the king of wheat beers. So there you go, King Heffy. I'm doing that one. And next up, I am doing the Jam Session Raspberry Cream Ale.
I have had that, and it is kick-ass.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited
Really
about
good.
this. So this is an American-style cream ale brewed with all natural raspberries. It has a light, refreshing body and a fresh raspberry aroma. Tart fruit notes combined with a smooth mouthfeel to create a thirst-quenching beer for welcoming in the summer or the fall, I guess. So there we go. There it is. Welcome to Sea to Sky Country, House Sound. So there it is.
Boom. There you are. Right on. All right. Halloween Part 2.
Duh.
This is fun.
Totally.
Yeah.
We were mentioning before that we did another one. What was it? Episode 13. Ooh, spooky 13.
Yeah.
Way back. Well, a year ago, and we kind of went overboard with.
We didn't
the
scratch the
songs.
surface. We excavated the goddamn topic, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all that's left is
So-
like
so
Purple
trying to find
People
new
Eaters
things.
and Monster Mash and Ghostbusters. That's all that's
I
left.
know. Fuck, those are my 3.
We had those.
Yeah, those are all.
So yeah, trying to dig out something we didn't talk about before was an interesting task, but
This is a deeper
we'll
dive.
see what we got.
It's a deeper dive now, and it's it was a little harder to find some stuff instead of just scanning some playlists and thinking in your mind and be like, yeah, that was a good one, but
This is some sophisticated Halloween fucking
this
music.
is next level. This ain't no amateur stuff. This is why you're listening, everybody, right? So who wants to go first after that?
I'll go first.
All right.
I'll go first. So, this was a song that, I haven't listened to in a really long time, but from a brilliant artist. I don't think it really has much to do with Halloween, but just the song itself is just sort of conjures up super creepy thoughts and the arrangement of the song is there's a lot of sound effects. It's Tom Waits.
Cool.
What's he building?
What's he building in there? What the hell is he building in there? He has subscriptions to those magazines. He never waves when he goes by. He's hiding something from the rest of us. He's all to himself. I think I know why. He took down the tire swing from the pepper tree. He has no children of his own, you see. He has no dog. He has no friends. And his lawn is dying. What about all those packages he sends? What's he building in there? With that hook light on the stairs. What's he building in there? I'll tell you one thing, he's not building a playhouse for the children. What's he building in there? And what's that sound from underneath the door?
Have you guys ever heard that song before?
I don't know the title, but I got huge into Tom Waits probably about 10 years ago, and I bought his entire catalog, and I just dove into everything I could, every live performance I could find on the YouTubes, and I was obsessed for a good 5 years or so. Once again, don't recall a lot of the song titles, but definitely know the songs.
Yeah, he's a storyteller. And it was one of these songs that sort of fit the album. You wouldn't think that it's like Halloween. But in this context, like today I was just like, oh my gosh, like I need like a third song. And this was perfect. It's just like, it's creepy. It's, it's just full of like textures, like this, like I said before, the sound effects. Yeah. And it's really about his nosy neighbors, I think is the whole meaning behind it. Anyway,
this is off of Mule Variations, correct?
You got it.
This is the most, like, I listened to this album the most out of all Tom Waits albums, and like Big in Japan, and like those songs are on there, right? Like Les Claypool's on that album too. He's playing bass on that song, actually.
Awesome.
Big in Japan,
right?
Mule Variations.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So I kind of forgot that, but I totally know the song you're talking about. It's like,
what's he building in there?
Yeah, his voice is, obviously very distinct too, but he's got that creepy voice, and it's just like a whole bunch of tinkering sounds, and the whole album just kind of feels like dusty and dirty. Like that just kind of feels gritty, that album. Like
super raspy voice, low and grindy.
The covers
like
all
if
like
a Carney just like recorded an album.
Like
he's been places.
The Carney poet.
Exactly.
Gruff Carney pro.
Yeah, and I think this song sort of like jumped out at me because it's just it's so simplistic, and there's like one line, and he's like, he doesn't have a dog, he doesn't have any friends. It's just, well, what has he got?
You just think of him kind of peering over the fence. Peeking in to see the neighbor.
And then
going on.
I think the most interesting part of the song is like, who's the creep? Is it him or is it his neighbors? Right? And I think it's him, and that's what makes it. That's what makes it super creepy, right?
Good pick. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that album too, but I listened to it a ton. It was like 99 it came out, and I must have got a free copy of it, and I played it nonstop for a while there. But I got a couple of on vinyl, like Saturday Night, like The Heart of Saturday Night. I wish I had Mule Variations on vinyl, but I don't even think I have it on CD anymore, or have anything to play it with. But
there you go.
Good one.
Quick and dirty.
Good one. Nice.
Cool.
I'll jump in the pool next. I found this. This is another one that I kind of found later on, and it's not like I don't know. I think it's not that bad of a song. It came out in 1976, and it's by and I heard it like probably 6 months ago, and I'm like, I've never heard this song before. And I looked it up, and it's called Devil Woman by Cliff Richard.
I've had nothing but bad luck since the day I saw the cat at my
Have you ever heard of this guy?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. It wasn't just me. So I looked this guy up. He is the third best-selling UK artist of all time, behind the Beatles and Elvis Presley.
What?
Yeah, man.
What?
And I'm like,
What?
I've never heard of this dude in my life. So,
What? This is including Oasis in this equation.
including Oasis, it is the Beatles, Elvis Presley, and Cliff Richard in UK chart history. This is, I was absolutely blown away. So, I went back to this guy's catalog, and it's kind of like, you know, little schmaltzy, like, you know, but the 76 track the Devil Woman's got, it's not bad. Like, it's kind of good. Like, it's his biggest hit, I think. But yeah, I never heard of this guy before, but I thought, you know what, Devil Woman might fit in with the Halloween theme, so I'm adding Cliff Richard, Devil Woman, to the pile, and you all can find out about Cliff Richard if you want to, but you don't have to.
Wow, that's mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
And he's old now. He's like in his late 80s, I think, maybe even early 90s.
Right.
Like, he's been around, right? But sounds like he had a pretty good run in the UK. They said he didn't do very well in the States and Canada, obviously, because we didn't know him. But he said they had another hit too, and I forget the name of it, but it was big in Canada too. Like, it got to like number 10 or something like that. So
Wow.
yeah.
Well, that kind
Ocean
of speaks volumes for going back to our last episode about, you know, global charts and, you know, having a huge star in some country that no one has ever heard of before, but he's massive or she's massive in that little, you know, speck of the world.
It's like Rodriguez.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never heard of
Right.
him before, but they've have 8 billion streams or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm big in Japan.
Yeah.
And Germany.
Oh yeah.
David Hasselhoff.
Yep, I was looking for that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Couldn't find a David Hasselhoff Halloween song, and I couldn't find what's her name,
A lot of miles.
Alana Miles Halloween song, because she's big in Germany too.
Oh, she's still huge there.
So big. all of the fans.
Oh yeah.
Right?
There's a lot. Yeah, so there you go. Cliff Richard. I got to God. I went deep on these ones. So there it is. The third best
was a good
selling
one.
of all time in the UK charts.
So is the song scary?
No,
It's
like
oh.
dan a devil woman. Dan. Yeah, you'll hear it. Mike's gonna slip it in there, so he's gonna.
Was it familiar when you listened to it?
Never
You're
heard it
like,
in my
"Oh, I've
life.
heard this before."
Never heard it.
Really?
Never, man. And that's another thing. I always kind of get dumbfounded by like something that I've never heard before, considering I've listened to a lot of music and have been exposed to a lot of different things over the time, and never heard this cat. So I thought, like, is Wikipedia wrong? Like, is somebody effing with me? Like,
Someone's hacking that
Yeah.
up.
what is this?
He's bigger than Oasis, mate.
Yeah, it's Cliff
Check
Richard
out the
sitting in his
website.
house. Third best of all time, mate. Pulling a Ferris Bueller in his bedroom.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. All right, Mr. Cliff Richard.
There he is.
Hard act to follow. What you got? What you got?
We're hitting hard with this one. he's not quite the third biggest star in Europe, but he's big in my heart.
Oh, yeah.
The great Canadian metal master, Devin Townsend.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're going Devin Townsend Band, Vampira.
Follows me when you're gone. And now, home I'll carry on. But into the night, into the darkness, I must be strong. Carrying on. Night follows me when you leave.
Nice.
It's a great track, and the music video is so kick-ass because it's got Devin dressed up like a devil, and his band is dressed up like skeletons in the background, and it's just it's total cheese, but it's fantastic, and it's so well executed.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, I always have to try and find something Devin Townsend associated for as much as I can with these. So,
You know, I haven't listened to Devin Townsend a lot, but what I have heard, I've liked.
you
But for
need
whatever-
to.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those bands that it's I gotta like take some time, like some time.
Oh,
and
it's his
listen.
catalog is ridiculous, and the amount of bands that he's either had his like just for himself, like Devin Townsend Band and Devin Townsend Project, going from that to being the vocalist and frontman for Steve Vai on Sex and Religion, I think it was called.
Yeah.
So he did that for a long time, and then you go back to his older even heavier projects, man. I mean, it's so good.
I remember him with the long hair and the like
The major
bald
skullet.
head. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the power metal skullet.
Yeah.
It's unreal, man. And he's just brilliance. He just he vomits brilliance. It's fantastic. The amount of what he goes from writing a metal album to writing an orchestra to writing stage shows to it's ridiculous. So
Well, there you go. I gotta do a deep dive.
yes, you do.
Absolutely.
I mean,
So that's what I got for my first one.
these first three are just so diverse. Tom Waits, Cliff Richard, and Devin Townsend. Like, that's,
Yep.
Let's see those guys on tour together.
Only a sophisticated Halloween palate will understand
yeah.
this
Yes, indeed.
selection.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're not doing the oldies of Monster Mash and Thriller and
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters that everyone
Who you
else
gonna
does.
call?
So
Yeah.
there you go. That's my first pick.
Right on. Good one. Good one. Okay. So right now I'm deciding what to go with here because. Okay. Next one is I think we had our guilty pleasures episode.
Yep.
Where I was this one song, and like our guilty pleasures was like right after Halloween. I think we did that one somewhere in November, but
It's pretty close to that, yeah.
yeah. And there was that one song from this one particular band. I was like, oh, that would have been perfect for Halloween. So here's my retribution. Typo Negative, Hallows Eve.
Fires burn these black twisted boughs. Sacrifice to above. Smoke swirling quickly towards misting clouds. Offering of this blood. Into the flames and without shame. Consumed with howls and screams. Pumpkins grin in their despair. Oh. Hallows Eve.
man. How
Yes.
could I not? How could I not? So good.
I almost put some typo negative on this list, and I kind of figured you would too, so I sort of left it alone. But brilliant,
Appreciate it.
great
Appreciate it, man. Oh my god, yeah, so good. The guy's basically fucking Dracula.
Yeah.
And
in the
just
dark,
just a
singing with his fangs in his mouth, and
yeah, great song, great band. If you haven't listened to our Guilty Pleasures episode, that's where I came out of the typo negative closet, so to speak. So
yeah. I don't even know if that would sit in as a guilty pleasure. I mean that whole if you're into anything metal, the darker side, goth vein of things, man, it's
I guess, yeah, and
they're kind of king for a lot of that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I suppose you're right, and maybe I'm just like not on the radar as far as that stuff, but
Right.
excuse me. I don't know. There's like cool, scary like Slayer, and everyone's like, yeah, Slayer is awesome. But then there's like bands like Typo Negative, and you're
Yep.
like, I think they're serious about this shit. I think they really like. I don't think he like takes off the makeup when he goes home. I think he is. I think Peter Steele is Dracula.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, great song, great band, and
Yep.
yeah.
I think the Guilty Pleasures 2 episode is going to be a little more exposing. I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be the true colors coming out.
You keep saying this, man. What do you hide? What do you got behind the curtains
Hey,
here?
man, we all got them. We all got them. And if you say that you don't, you'd be lying. So
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good one. Guilty Pleasures too. That's like a fucking 80s movie vibe.
yeah, let's
If
just
I've
do
ever
part
heard of
2s
one
to
before.
all of our episodes. Let's go Brian Adams, Corey Hart part 2. Let's do them all part 2.
Why not?
There's a lot that we could,
Yeah,
but
totally.
we still got a lot of ideas, everybody, so don't worry. It's okay.
That's right. With the thousands of listeners now, I mean, they got to hear the stuff we were talking about back when we were just getting started. So
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's it. You get those thousands of listeners because you keep on sharing it. That's what you do.
That's how this works, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
I'm gonna flip it on its head a little bit now, and I'm gonna because I think this has to come in as an album. This can't come in as a song, but you
All right.
can play the title track for it because it works perfectly for to put in the track. But I'm going with "Welcome to My Nightmare," Alice Cooper.
Welcome to my nightmare. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong. A nocturnal vacation, unnecessary sedation. You wanna feel at home 'cause you belong. Welcome to my nightmare.
Welcome to my breakdown. I hope I didn't scare you. That's just the way we are when we come down. We sweat and laugh and scream here, 'cause life is just a dream here. You know inside you feel right at home here. Welcome to my breakdown. Whoa.
Yes.
yeah.
And just as a whole, and I went through just a Alice Cooper phase probably about 4 months ago where I just listened to everything that he did, but I kind of went back to this a couple times and ran through this album as a whole, and I think that it obviously has a concept album, and we were talking concept albums. Here's another one with Steven's Nightmares, and I think it just as a whole works good, but there's just so many good songs on this album that I like, and I don't know, it's just something about Alice Cooper that has that, like you're kind of watching a Broadway show at the same time, and it almost feels like you can see what he's doing on stage, so it's so theatrical and so great, know. And
well, he was one of the few artists at that time that was doing the big budget production theatrical.
Oh yeah,
when
so
you've got
influential
on stage, you've got a bunch of people on stage, and you've got this giant full size guillotine, and you got chopping off fake heads and
he took
blood
it to
everywhere
places
in the 70s, man.
He took it to places where Kiss was afraid to take it to.
Well, Kiss was never, makeup and dick songs. Love Gun. That song's about my dick.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah,
this is for a richer palate. That's what it's all about.
So I'm sticking in the mid 70s because that's when it's creepiest in Halloween, isn't it? Any movie from the 70s is terrifying. Any horror movie,
Pretty
from
much.
the 70s,
Yeah.
So
for
there
sure.
you go. Welcome to My Nightmare, Alice Cooper. The only Alice Cooper actually I have on vinyl is Welcome to My Nightmare, and I hadn't really listened to it until I went back to Alice Cooper. So
nice.
It's such a solid album, man.
Yeah. What brought
Devil's
you back?
Food, Black Widow.
I don't know. I think we were talking about like Feed My Frankenstein, Be My Frankenstein, right? And I was like, I kind of went back then, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to go back to like old Alice Cooper. I want to kind of go back to that and just listen to that. And so I did that for probably 2 weeks. Just kind of went back through it, and then I was like, all right, I'm good now, maybe for a bit. But going back to this album is it's so good. Like, as a whole.
I gotta commend you, man, because when you do a deep dive, like you go out into like strange like areas.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
and you'll
healthy.
Just deep dive. That's fine. I'm just like getting back into Mastodon. I'm like, oh man, I'm so into Mastodon, but you're just like, yeah, dude, I just did a deep dive.
No, that's
Alice
good.
Cooper
Yeah,
for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, 2 weeks.
That's
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Just kind of, I don't know, man. I dive into it and then I can't get out of it. So, but yeah, so there it is. Welcome to My Nightmare.
Wow,
Alice Cooper.
Good one.
All right, Mr. Topolinsky, you're up.
Okay, I'm just trying. I've got the song. I just can't remember what album it's off of. So we are going into the world of Al Jorgensen.
Okay, nice.
We're digging into some Ministry, and the song is from 1987. Every Day is Halloween.
How do we forget that one?
It's a bit of an obscure one, man. I mean, for the most part, when you think of Ministry, or it's more of the crushing industrial side of things. But when you dig into his 87, it's more of a goth side to him. It's really kind of slower and darker, and so that is my pick for. It's my second pick. So.
Nice.
And I've been listening to that song all day, and the music video is super cool. It's really dark and old, kind of 60s, 50s, 60s, no, even older, like 40s cartoons, black and white.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. I see it. Yeah.
So cool.
What's that?
Wow.
What's that guy doing now?
He's
He just
still
released an
pumping out-
album.
Yeah, he's
He
still
just
pumping
dropped
out
an album.
albums.
He is,
and
eh?
Yeah.
He's got governments to topple, and he's got things to say.
Yeah. He's a crazy motherfucker. He's still alive, still doing it.
Well, he's got to be like in his 60s now, right? Like he's
Easily.
He is. And the thing is, like, I thought Ministry was done like 10 years ago, but yeah, he's 63 and he looks like he's fucking, well, a weathered 30-year-old.
He's very weathered. Maybe a weathered 45-year-old.
Maybe a weathered 40-year-old, but
tattered dreads and face full of tats and more piercings than you can count. And,
just a
and
face full of metal.
He's still crushing it, man. He's still crushing it. So
yeah, and the dude's from fucking Cuba. I didn't know that.
He's
from
that either.
Havana.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, he's just like as cool can be.
Yeah, definitely one of easily a top 10 show for me.
And I think they came to Edmonton 2005.
Yeah, it's about that.
Around that time. I fucking missed it. I can't believe I
really
missed
good.
it. Was it? Where was the show?
So fucking good. It was at Ed's or Red's or whatever the hell
Oh,
they
really?
called it at the time. So Edmonton Event Center or something. Anyway, yeah, so good, man.
who was there? Somebody else playing with him?
There was a band opening called Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, we got to do an opening band episode.
That sounds familiar.
We got to do an opening
Yeah,
band
yeah.
one. See, yeah.
And I remember them being pretty damn good. So
Wow.
yeah,
That would have been great.
yeah, and it was the crowd was. I mean, it's not a huge venue, but it's a decent size. I mean, you could probably get about 400 people in there, maybe 300, 400.
Oh my god.
Yeah, about that.
So and
That
and I
would have
just
been so amazing.
Oh, it was great, man. I remember fighting my way to the front, and then it was I kind of got picked up, and it was almost like I was floating to the back, like I was just being carried to the back, and then you go and you charge in, arms going, and just try to run to the front again. You get picked up again and pulled to the back, and
It's a good room, man.
It was a pretty cool experience.
I like that
Totally.
room. Yeah, it's I've had a lot of good experiences there playing shows ourselves and listening to shows there, and yeah, I kind of miss it. I've had some good moments in that room. You know what I mean? Like
No kidding, right? Yeah, that's true.
Spent a
That's
lot of
very
time.
true.
We spent a lot of time in that building. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
some good shows in there for sure. But that's cool. What year was that? Was that 2005 that you saw?
Yeah, it was about that. Yeah. Yeah. It would have been 04, 05.
Oh man, I went from that raspberry cream ale and I went to the King Heffy, and it tastes like a banana. Like it goes from like raspberry to banana. This tastes like straight banana, man. Banana.
You're
beer.
having a fruit salad.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah. I think so.
You gotta get used to that banana.
It kind of smacked me in the mouth. You know what I mean?
I was gonna ask you about that, like raspberry cream ale. It's not creamy, right? Like it's kind of, it would be sharp and like light.
Oh, it was like
It
was like foamy. It was like like,
okay.
That's the mouth feel, I think. Just like it just feels like it's like fluoride in your mouth or something like that, but tastes better. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll get you drunk.
Yeah. And
It'll get you there.
I'm sorry. I was gonna do the research on these beers, but I was gonna ask you guys too. It says on one of these 11.5 Plato and 16.7 degrees Plato. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but it's on both of those cans, right in the center there in bold.
I have seen that before. I'm not sure what that is.
Should look that up. Should have looked it up before I brought it up.
Yeah,
but
man.
anyways,
No idea.
next time I'll be educated on that.
For all y'all 1,000 thousands of listeners out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Someone write us on Instagram and let us know.
Yeah. Let's hear your thoughts. What does that mean?
We're back around again, I think. We're in the home stretch
Back around.
of Halloween 2021. We're in 2021. Yes, we are. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think sometimes.
Okay. So number three. So I went on an interesting journey on this. I was just like, how can I make this as entertaining as possible? How can I make like a fun story? So I looked up like the Scream soundtrack.
Yep.
And then like I Know What You Did Last Summer soundtrack. And I was like, there's got to be like a gem in here somewhere. And it was just all Smash Mouth. It was fucking horrible. So
Nothing but Smash Mouth.
Hey,
and
now.
Chumbawamba.
Yeah, Rockstar, get your game on. I was like, this isn't scary.
Stupid teen horror
So I
movies.
was like, what is the fucking scariest movie ever made?
Exorcist.
Got it. That fucking soundtrack,
Yep.
the scariest fucking soundtrack ever made. It was
It's
like
creepy as shit. Yep.
1 p.m. I'm in my living room and I'm like, hey, my baby's crawling around. I'm like, maybe this is scary. First track, I'm like, oh my God, what is this?
Baby's crawling on the ceiling, his head's turning around, spinning.
I get to like the third track and I'm like, I'm gonna just like go over here and listen to this, and then I just didn't, and then I just started reading about it, and it's really interesting. But it's basically the movie itself is scary, but I think like movies like Exorcist was released in the 80s at some point. I'm not sure. Or was it
70s.
like late 70s?
Late 70s, yep.
Late 70s.
Right. So they didn't have like the special effects that we're accustomed to now, right? So there was a lot of like, support from sound effects and music. And that's where like this, if you want to call it a soundtrack, is really, really, I mean, you can see how it played a big part in making this movie as spooky as it was.
Yeah.
So, where's my notes? I wrote notes on this. It's kind of all over the place because like, there was the original guy that was supposed to do it was the guy who did all the Alfred Hitchcock, like sound effects, right? His name escapes me right now, but so he wanted like this big orchestra kind of like, and he was kind of a big shot, and the guy who made the movie, you can see I totally did my homework on this. The guy who made the dude who made The Exorcist was like, he gave him the movie to watch or whatever, and he's like, can you make a score for this? And the guy's like, yeah, no problem, I'll like mail it to you, I'll try and make something out of this disaster or like shit pile, or he said something in that lane, and the guy was like, well, wait a second, no, I don't want you to mail me something, and I want to be involved with this, I want to make sure you get it right. And so this hotshot was like, yeah, fuck you. And so he kind of went back and just like went through a bunch of like symphony music and things that he had like laying around his apartment or whatever, and got people to re-record it because of the rights to the music, right? So they had to like redo it. And like the stories that I've found online, they're all kind of different. But from what I got, like there's Jack Nietzsche, Christoph Pendricky, and then Mike Oldfield, who did Tubular Bells, right? And that, like, there's like that one song out of all of this crazy, scratchy symphony. Wow, makes like the hair on the back of your neck stand up. And then there's like Tubular Bells in there somewhere, which I had no idea. Yeah. So here's an album. This isn't a single track, obviously. But
where did you hear it,
yeah,
Dane? Where did you listen to it?
Like,
yeah,
where?
like was it on Spotify?
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I can't find it on Spotify.
It's all done by. It just said the National Philharmonic, and I don't know who. It must have been like someone took the soundtrack and like redid it, but oh my god, like it's creepy. And maybe just because, like, you know, I remember watching this movie when I was 13 years old and just like
yep.
And it just
still
like conjured
messes with you today, man.
Yeah. But I mean, it's really interesting when you think about how music and sound really adds to the context of, you know, something visual or whatever it is. Like,
No question. And I think going
this
back to what
movie-
you're talking about, you know, not having the sound or the special effects to be able to do that stuff. I mean, Star Wars is a perfect
Yeah.
example of that, right?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
it was still great and everything, but like obviously the music is epic, and that added to everything. So, yeah. And
Yeah.
you know what the funny thing is? I very distinctly remember now that you're talking about this, in those records that I would get from like random people that I would teach drum lessons to, there was an Exorcist record, and I never played it. I got rid of it as soon as pretty much I got it, and I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna listen to this. Gone. Like it, and can you imagine listening to that on vinyl, like crackly?
That would be so amazing, man.
That's maybe the ultimate.
That down.
Anybody turn off the lights, open the windows on a windy night, and just fucking put that record
And
on.
the movie.
So cool.
Just the visuals.
Yeah.
But that's another thing too, because going back to watching the 60s, 70s, early 80s horror flicks, I always find those more terrifying than any of the new stuff when you come into this newer realm of horror movies where it's all more slasher and less creeps, I guess, or it's more like the quick startle where something jumps out at you instead of building a story behind it and building emotion behind it.
Letting your imagination run wild.
Totally, man.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things too where I was always obsessed with the story of Amityville House.
Amityville
Oh,
Horror.
God.
Yeah.
And the
God,
Amityville
yeah.
Horror and getting into that quite recently. I found another podcast. It's called The Time Suck with a comedian named Dan Cummins, and he goes through and he digs into these stories where it's anything from the occult to conspiracy theories to serial killers, like a lot of true crime stuff. And one of the episodes was the Amityville House, and he did this super deep dive, and there's a lot of really cool content that I had no idea, but it kind of it takes the story from